Warning: the following video contains spoilers. If you are not caught up in the series in the manga, I advise you to click off this video now. Thank you. Shout out to a fellow YouTuber by the name of Taijutsu Gao. A link to her channel will be in the description below. Before I decided to upload this video to YouTube, I looked at other Sakura videos similar to this one. And one of my favorites was by the creator Taijutsu Gao. So yeah, please go show her love and support. Again, links will be in the description below. So yeah, let's begin with the actual video. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to one of my videos. Today, we'll be talking about Sakura Haruno. Now, I got a few things to say first. First of all, Sakura haters, please watch this to the very end. You guys need to know how this character actually is a good character in the show. I'm going to tell about why she is a great character in the Naruto series. Second, this will be a serious video, so there's not going to be any jokes, any laughs or giggles. This is going to be a serious video, and I'm going to be talking about how I feel about this character. So yeah, let's get right into this video. Starting off, Sakura in part 1, she didn't do a whole lot. She has a few moments, and she is known for a few things. So Sakura in part 1, she had an aptitude of genjutsu. We never saw her use genjutsu, but we know she can dispel it. Kakashi said Sakura would have been a great genju type user, because with the mix of her chakra control, Kakashi said it's really helpful if someone who has great chakra control, that they can use genjutsu very well. She got so good at dispelling genjutsu that even Shikamaru said that she's resistant to it, basically implying that she can dispel all genjutsu, even Itachi's genjutsu. So you know, when Shikamaru says that she's resistant to it, that means she's resistant to it. But that was in the last movie. So a few things in these descriptions I'm reading that I made myself, they're going to include some part 2 and beyond content in it. So I'm going to read like what she's known for, but then explain what she's going to do, how she's going to imply that later in the series. Sakura is known for her intelligence. I don't know if you guys remember, but on the Chunin exam written test, she was the only one in the entire room that could answer every single question. They were questions far beyond the Genin level. In part 2, she uses her intelligence even more. For example, during the Rescue the Kazekage arc, when she made antidotes and used her intelligence against Sasori, she used it against the imposter Neji, and more events that happened. Even Sasuke said Sakura's analytical skills are superior to his Sharingan. Superior to his Sharingan. That's crazy. When I was looking back, when Sasuke said that line, I was just like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. In Team 7, she has the best chakra control. She can perform jutsu at maximum efficiency without wasting any chakra. Later in part 2, with the chakra control, she unlocks the strength of 100 seal. Only 2 other people, Tsunade and Mito Uzumaki, the wife of the first Hokage, have unlocked it. She then proceeds to unleash the strength of 100 seal, and has a technique called Ninja Art Creation Rebirth, Strength of 100 technique. And now only Tsunade has ever done that. Think about it. Only 2 medical ninjas out of probably 100,000 shinobi have fully mastered this technique. That's insane, in my opinion. We actually don't know if Mino Uzumaki can actually do the Strength of 100 seal. We know she has that mark on her forehead, but we don't know if that's just part of her character design or if she can actually do it. It's not confirmed. So, and then Sakura has 2 fighting moments in part 1. Not too many, but she did have a couple. The 2 fighting moments were both in the Chunin exams, both in the same arc. First of all, I'm not gonna lie. Sakura was a useless character in part one. She barely did anything, especially as a main character. Um, but she did have a couple cool moments. The first is where she tricked Zaku um, to with the substitution jutsu. Um, but that started off with her with Kinsuchi actually grabbing hold of Sakura's hair and then Sakura cutting it off. And then this was a cool moment of Sakura. You see her hair flowing in the background. You see the side of her profile, and with like a white backdrop, and then you just see loose hair flying in the wind. And you see her saying, "I'm not going to run away anymore. This time, I'm going to protect you too," or something like that. So that was a cool moment. And then she, after she said that, she directly went into her serious mode and did some cool stuff. Um, where she used a substitution, she substituted. That's when Zaku like threw kunais or whatever at her. And then she used a substitution again. She substituted, and then she came from above. Zaku thought it was just another substitution jutsu because it was repetition. And usually, when your mind, when something is going over and over and over repetition, you just think that the next thing is going to be the same. But in reality, that doesn't always necessarily happen. So Sakura came down. He thought she was going to substitute, so he threw kunais at her, and it was like went into her arm and leg, and then he was looking around and saying, "Okay, where did the real one go?" But in reality, after like a split second after he said that, he looked up, and the real Sakura was there, knives in her or whatever, and then she came down and stabbed him in the arm, and then proceeded to bite him, which didn't work out so well. But at that time, that's when Team 10 came in and helped them. So that was a cool moment that Sakura did in the tuning exam. She had a little moment to shine. And then the other point, the other fight that she had was against Ino, of course. Probably her most well-known achievement in part one, which is just her fight against Ino really showed her character development because Ino is from a clan where they actually have a secret jutsu or technique. So they have the mind transfer jutsu. That's their main technique. Of course, that technique branches off into different categories, but that's the main technique. So Ino had a special jutsu. Sakura didn't. She didn't have any special techniques or whatever. So you guys already know what happens in that fight. It was a tie, but it just showed how much she improved from the beginning to the up to that point in the tuning exams. And Kakashi said that it was a really good idea to send her to this tuning exams because she learned a lot, and she will use that to take advantage in later events. So yeah, and then she does little things here and there, like at the very end of the tuning exams, she casts her genjutsu. One of the only people actually to cast the genjutsu, or dispel the genjutsu. That's what I meant. So Kabuto's genjutsu. So yeah, so that's really all Sakura did in part one. Besides that, she was just obsessed with Sasuke. It felt like every episode she was all she ever thought about was Sasuke. It really felt like that, even though not every single episode she thought about him, but it seemed like that way. So yeah, that's all really for Sakura's character in part one. So on to part two. So first, I'm just going to go over her achievements in part two, and then I'm going to go over them. So she defeated Sasori with Chio, killed the imposter Neji, destroyed dozens of Jubi clones with one punch, defeated Kaguya with Team 7, defeated Kido Sumiki, nearly killed Shin Uchiha, saved Naruto 5 times, saved Sasuke 3 times, saved Hinata twice, saved Chio twice, saved Sai, saved Shikamaru, saved Obito, saved Kankuro, saved multiple citizens from falling debris, and thousands of other shinobi. So first of all, the fight between her and Sasori. In that fight, she actually did a lot of the work. I'd say equal or more than Chio actually, because Sakura destroyed Hiruko. She destroyed the third Kazekage, multiple exceptional puppets of Sasori's, and she destroyed Sasori's body twice. So in that fight, she definitely did a lot and was by herself the biggest moment she ever had in the series, which is very sad because it was at the very beginning of Shippuden, and she had so much potential in her character, but Kishimoto wasted that opportunity, and Kishimoto focused more on Naruto and Sasuke in the story because they're the two main characters and they're rivals. But I felt like Kishimoto focused a little bit too long on the Uchiha part in the story. He just took a long time and never gave Sakura um, great praise. I mean, Sakura has moments where she's getting praised, but not a lot compared to Naruto or Sasuke. Um, and then she killed the imposter Neji with her intelligence, I might add. This was cool because we saw that Sakura was tricking the imposter Neji, which was the Zetsu. And she basically used her own intelligence because to find out that if he was the real Neji or not, she used Tauntaun. So Tauntaun doesn't have hands. Tauntaun only has legs. So when Sakura was talking to Neji, the imposter Neji, she was saying that Tauntaun will be okay, I think, because Tauntaun got injured, and so Neji, the imposter Neji, said, "Will Tauntaun be okay?" And Sakura said, "Yeah, it's all right. Tauntaun can still weave hand signs." And Neji was saying, "Oh, that's right," or said something like, "Okay, um, that's good." And then that's when Sakura knew because Tauntaun doesn't have hands, and the imposter Neji actually doesn't know who Tauntaun is. He just thinks Tauntaun is just a regular person, but it's a pig. So, and then once the imposter Neji thought that, or the Zetsu thought that Sakura was let her guard down at a specific moment, that's when Sakura just came in, just right behind him, and just like smacked him down with a chop and like beat his ass to a pulp. It was such a funny moment, funny and great at the same time. Um, so that was a great moment. And then destroyed dozens of Jubi clones with one punch. She destroyed dozens of Jubi clones with one punch. Compared to other, like the Rookie 9 or the Konoha 12, they they could only defeat one at a time, like with one technique. So I mean, besides like Chikasho, where they used the tri attack with the yo-yo thing and destroyed multiple, but like Kiba, he destroyed like three. Shino destroyed one. Hinata destroyed one. So everyone is just like a few, but Sakura defeated dozens of them with one punch. So that's an impressive. Um, yeah, she defeated Kaguya with Team 7. Now with Sakura wasn't in that fight would have been a lot longer. Because Sakura, if you guys remember, if in the manga or if you watch, if you read the manga, she came down on Kaguya, and Naruto and Sasuke were coming on either side of her, ready to steal her. But then she decided to go upwards. But Sakura was there. She came down, punched Kaguya, broke one of her horns off. Sakura sent Kaguya flying down to where Naruto and Sasuke was, and then that's where they sealed her for a tri attack, which was an epic moment for the final villain of the series. Um, so yeah, um, she defeated Kido Sumiki, and who is the captain of Root in the Anbu. In Sakura's story, Sakura's story is the spin-offs, the not spin-offs, but the novels that Kishimoto's assistant or a writer of his wrote. Kishimoto's a supervisor of these novels, which means you can technically call them canon, but like he wasn't the writer of them, but he did supervise them. Um, But in Sakura's story, she defeated this guy, which was a cool moment. By the way, Sakura's story comes out in stores like May 3rd, I think, this year. So yeah. Um, she defeated. Oh, she nearly killed Shin Uchiha with one punch. In the Boruto manga, or not the Boruto manga, but the Seventh Hokage and the Scarlet Springs manga that Kishimoto did, um, she she nearly killed Shin Uchiha. Um, at the time, Shin, Naruto, and Sasuke couldn't even lay a finger on Shin Uchiha, and this is after the war. So Naruto and Sasuke still have their powers. They are basically gods in the ninja world, and they couldn't even touch this guy. And then Sakura just came in and destroyed him and nearly killed him with one punch because he needed surgery. It got to the point where he needed surgery for him to actually like stay alive. That's insane. Just thinking about it, it's just like, ugh. Ruptured all of his organs. Ruptured all of them. Great, 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 great. um, she saved Naruto 5 times. You guys probably don't believe it, but yes, she saved Naruto 5 times. The first time, was in the war, where she, opened Naruto up, and opened up Naruto's chest, put her hand inside, and was manually pumping his heart while giving CPR to him. And this was the part where Naruto just had the tailed beast, now the nine-tailed Kurama, extracted from him. And she was doing all she could to save him. And that was a great moment she had. And I'm going to get into the lines she said a little bit later in this video. So that was the first time she saved Naruto. Until they got to Obito / and Minato. So, and then the second time she saved Naruto was at the end of the regular Shippuden, the regular story, the main story. So the final fight between Naruto and Sasuke, after, because they got their arms blown off from the final attack, and so she stopped the bleeding from their arms. So because if she wasn't there, they would have died bleeding out. But she got there in time, so she can stop the bleeding in their arms. The third time she saved them was in the infinite dream, or the memory dreams, in the last movie, where Sakura saved a bunch of people that I'm going to get into, but Naruto was one of them, and this was the part where Shikamaru said that she was resistant to Genjutsu because she was the only one in that group, in that team, that could actually dispel the Genjutsu. And she actually noticed it right away and then dispelled it and then got everyone else out of it. So Sakura is really... And this was in Toneri's Genjutsu memory thing. So that was advanced stuff. So Sakura is really good with dispelling Genjutsu, and we see that from this. And then fourth time she saved Naruto was when Naruto was drained completely out of chakra, and she had, with her Byakugo power, which is a seal on her forehead, she was transferring chakra from her to Naruto for 3 days straight. No sleep, no anything. 3 days straight. Saving Naruto there in the same spot for 3 days, doing nothing but transferring chakra and healing Naruto. That's a friend for you. It's insane. And then the final time she saved Naruto was, again, the fight between Shin. If Sakura wasn't in there, didn't come in at that moment, Naruto and Sasuke would have probably died. Naruto, at that moment, got stabbed with Sasuke's sword, because of Sheen's eye ability, and then Sasuke got hit in the back with tons of shurikens. So it was a good moment that Sakura came in and saved the day. She saved Sasuke 3 times. I've already named 2 of them. The one being she helped Sasuke and Naruto stop the bleeding in their arms, and then the other one was the against Sheen. So the other one was kind of a duo save, but in my opinion, Sakura did more because it was Sakura and Obito that saved Sasuke out of the dimension, the other dimension. So Sakura had to transfer her chakra into Obito for Obito to use the Kamui, but I think Sakura did more because Obito couldn't have done the Kamui without Sakura's chakra. So Sakura's chakra was kind of like the main power source for the Kamui to activate the dimension. So yeah, they saved both of them, and she also saved Sasuke. Well, she saved Sasuke in that same scene, but I'm going to get into that in a couple of minutes. She saved Hinata twice. Yeah, both of them. The one being the Pain, where Hinata was going against Pain and trying to protect Naruto, trying to save Naruto. But then when she got stabbed by Pain, she was on the brink of death, and that's when Sakura came in and healed her to the point where she was all better. So yeah, Sakura saved Hinata during that part, and then in the dream with the Genjutsu, she saved them. Because remember, if Sakura wasn't there in the memories and wasn't awakening them from the Genjutsu, they would have been there forever, stuck in the memories. So yeah. So she saved Hinata during that time. Sakura saved Chiyo twice in the Sasori fight. First being the where Sasori was like going towards Granny Chiyo with his blades, and they're rotating, and then was like several inches to Chiyo's face, about to cut her. And then this is in the English dub. This Sakura said a funny line, and this was so funny. Sakura basically, in time, grabbed Sasori's poison-covered rope because she had the antidote at that time, and she had a few seconds to actually defeat Sasori. So it was several inches to Chiyo's face, the blades, and Sakura just pulled Sasori over to where she was, and she said, "Get over here." You know, like what Scorpion says in Mortal Kombat, "Get over here." She basically said that. It was hilarious. So she pulled Sasori over, she punched him, destroyed his main body first. And then the other one was towards the end of the fight where Sasori was coming behind Chiyo, was about to stab her with the poison-covered sword. And then Sakura came in and saved Chiyo, where it was like a slow motion moment, and it was really sad. You hear the sad music in the back. She came in, she went in front of the poison-covered sword, and you see Chiyo's face of expression, and she had like blood covering her face, and then you see Sakura's face, or below her eyes, but you see her mouth, and you see her smiling with the blood, like a stream of blood streaming down her chin, and it was pretty sad. So she saved her during that point, and that's when Sakura didn't have any antidotes left, and Chiyo had to use her reanimation to not bring her back to life, but fully heal her. And then she saved Sai in the dream, the memories, saved Shikamaru the same way, and then saved Obito. This is where Sakura uses her keen reflexes to save Obito. So when they open the dimension portal to the Sea of Acid, because at one point there was a Sea of Acid. The Sea of Acid flew out of the portal. Sakura quickly grabbed Obito and just like quickly grabbed him and got out of the way before the Sea of Acid came in and flooded that area. But her jacket did get acid on it, so it burned. But that was a good thing because if she didn't take that jacket off and threw it on the ground, this is the part where she kind of saves Sasuke. Sasuke, when they opened the portal, Sasuke at the very last minute switched with his Rinnegan abilities. He switched Sakura's jacket with himself and was all right and was in the real. It was back in the main world. So without that jacket being there, he couldn't get back. He wouldn't have gone back into the main world. So that was another little thing that Sakura did to save Sasuke. Not intentional, but she did. And then in the Boruto movie, she saved multiple citizens from falling debris. And guess what? Sakura can do air punches. Yes, Sakura can do air punches. When she did air punches, that was just like, oh my gosh, she's just getting more and more powerful. Because we've never seen Sakura do air punches. Because when we see her punch the falling debris or the tuning exam ceiling down, when she punched it, she didn't even touch it. She used an air punch to destroy it. That's like, reminds me of Guy's Sekizo attack, Evening Elephant, except it wasn't as powerful. Because Evening Elephant would just like destroy that into like dust size or sand sized grain of pebbles, basically. But she used an air punch, which was a cool moment. And that's when Tamari blew that rebel away too. So she saved citizens from that. And then she saved thousands of other shinobi with Katsuyu. And people will say, oh, it was all Katsuyu's abilities to save all the other shinobi because Sakura didn't do anything. All Sakura did was summon Katsuyu. Yes, it was Katsuyu, but not fully. And I'll get into that later. So, before I get into more of Sakura's abilities and techniques, I'll be talking about a couple of lines or facts that different characters say in the show that prove that Sakura is no joke of a character. Boruto said that Sakura would be a suitable replacement for Naruto as Hokage, which makes sense because she is Kage level. Although in the main story she is a Jonin. In the last she became a Jonin. Her and Shikamaru are actually the only Jonins in the Rookie 9. So because Naruto, I think he just went from Genin to Hokage, and we never saw anything for him to go from Chunin to Jonin to Hokage. We never saw that. So all we know is he went from Genin to Hokage. Sasuke, since he was a rogue ninja, he never really did any of that stuff. So but I mean, they're all Kage level shinobi. They just different rankings or whatever. So yeah. Other things. Sasuke was said not to underestimate Sakura. He said that she's stronger than you think. And he thought she was fully capable of defeating Shin all by herself. He criticized those who doubted Sakura's abilities. Fun fact, Sakura and Naruto have the same stats at the start of Shippuden. Stats of 26 out of 40 at the start of Shippuden. So, yeah. Of course, those stats changed. Naruto is close to 40. Sakura's probably around 35. So, yeah. And then in Sakura's story, she made a children's hospital, which was really cool because we never see Sakura actually do any of really outside activities or events that she did in the main story. So it's kind of cool that she actually built a hospital for children. Because I mean, there's a hospital in the Hidden Leaf Village, but that's like for everyone and adults. But she actually made a hospital just for children, which was really cool. So yeah, couple of things that actually one thing that I want to point out of Sakura's intelligence, and this really does make Sakura this point of what about to say does make Sakura really, really smart, is because she is in stats, one of her highest stat ratings is her intelligence, which is a 4 out of 5, and that was at the start of Shippuden, not towards the end. So towards the end, she probably has a intelligence of 5. But so Sakura used an A rank technique to take poison out of Kankuro. By the way, I'm going to get into that technique later. She then uses that poison that she took out of Kankuro and analyzed it. And then she took the herbs that she needed to create the antidote and makes it. Even Sasori said that she was a brilliant girl. The exact mix ratio for the poison was very precise. The exact mix ratio for the poison is very precise. Sasori himself had to reference from a book to make the poison, and for him to actually, if he wanted to make an antidote. And he created poison. It wasn't like it was just like a supply of poison. He made the poison, so he had a reference from a book, while Sakura didn't have any references at all. Sakura did it all by herself. Made the poison all by herself. Chio was actually an expert in poisons, but she couldn't do it at all. So that's very impressive on Sakura's part. And if you guys didn't know, Sakura has actually the nature types of water and earth. We don't see her use it at all, but we know that because when you went to watch the last Naruto the movie in Japan, you got a little guidebook, and that guidebook kind of told the overlook of every main character in the Naruto series, or the characters in the movie that are going to show, and it said that Sakura had the nature types of water and earth. Because remember, to be a Jonin, you have to at least know two or more types of elements, nature types. So she knows 2 of them. So now I'm going to get into Sakura's abilities / techniques. Sakura's Chakra enhanced strength. So this is what makes her like super strong at the beginning of Naruto, but she doesn't need it in the future because it just comes natural to her now. So before, the Chakra enhanced strength is like a tuning level technique, but because it's just like covers your fifth with chakra, precise chakra control, chakra at a precise point in your fist, but she really doesn't need it anymore because she can just basically just like punch something and it's basically destroyed. So Sakura can do the chakra scalpel, which is a B rank technique. By the way, the rankings, I think all you guys know what the rankings are of techniques in the series. So S rank is like Kage level, A rank is like forbidden / like high Jonin techniques, B is Jonin, C is Chunin, D is Genin, and E is Academy, and then certain unique skills that certain clans have, they have like a slash through it. So the chakra scalpel is a B rank technique. It's where she with this technique, you can cut inside the body. You can make cuts inside the body without actually creating an open wound. And you can cut muscle tissue and tendons, and making the target immobile. So that's pretty OP actually, if you think about it, because like the Hyuga technique, the gentle fist, for you to actually like numb someone or for someone to like not stand anymore, you have to hit like the 64 chakra points or whatever. But for the chakra scalpels, you basically just have to touch someone wherever on the body, and they basically, whatever they touch, that limb or tendon or whatever doesn't work anymore, and it makes the cut inside the body, and there's no internal bleeding or anything. so it just like makes it so it doesn't work anymore. So with one touch, so compare it to 64 touches with the 64 palms. Um, um, and she has the abilities to the Byakugo seal allows her to transfer her chakra to another. So that's what how she transferred her chakra to Naruto um, in the last movie. Um, she has the creation rebirth technique. It's where the body's cell division is forcibly stimulated by proteins, reconstructing all the organs and all tissues, making up the human body. It's a Kage technique, Kage level technique. So that's pretty OP. That's where like Tsunade, we saw Tsunade do it in part one against Shikamaru, where she got stabbed and like cut all over her body, but she like instantly got healed. Um, and then Sakura knows the delicate illness extraction technique. This was the technique that she used on Kankuro. It's a Jonin level technique. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Useful for getting poisons out of someone's body. So yeah. She has the mystical palm technique, which it said it was an A rank technique, but I think it's a B or a C technique. Jonin or Chunin level technique. I don't think it's like a high Jonin or forbidden technique at all. And mystical palm technique, guys, is just the basic medical ninjutsu. It's just the healing process thing. So I think it's like a B or C rank, not an A rank, but and then she can summon the slugs, particular Katsuyu, which is a Jonin level technique. But summonings kind of depend because like Tamari can summon I forgot the name of that summoning that Tamari has. It's like a weasel. That weasel pipe with an eye patch on it and has like a scythe. Blade Dance, I think. It's called Blade Dance. Blade Dance. So that doesn't take like that summoning can be like a C rank. A C rank technique. But techniques like the big where you summon Gamatatsu, not Gamatatsu, but Gamabunta or Manda or Katsuyu, I think those are more for like Jonin level techniques or like B or A rank techniques. And maybe even not an S technique, but definitely an A or B. So yeah. Sakura can do Yang and Yin seal release, both of them. And Sakura can do the Strength of 100 seal, which is an S rank technique. With it, you can perform techniques without waste of energy. Yeah, so performing techniques without waste of energy. So she doesn't need any like chakra or anything to use this technique, and when she uses like certain techniques, she doesn't need any physical like energy. So she's basically the One Punch Man of Naruto. She just needs like a barely like a tiny. She can do the tiniest punch, and she can like knock something back like several hundred feet. So Sakura confirmed One Punch Man Saitama of Naruto. She can the ninja. She can also do the ninja art creation rebirth strength of 100 seal technique, which is the S rank technique, but it's a level beyond the strength of 100 seal. So combining the strength of 100 seal with the creation rebirth, it makes the same. It makes this technique. It has the same effects as the creation rebirth, but it has a continuous automatic effect that will heal any damage that the user sustains instantly without hand signs or even a conscious effort to activate the healing process. And it covers the user's body and not just the face. And with this technique, you can, of course, transfer your chakra to someone else's body. So it's a pretty OP technique. And then, so what I was talking about when Sakura and Katsuyu, when they saved the thousands of shinobi, a lot of people would say Katsuyu, it was all Katsuyu's, it was all on Katsuyu because she uses the slugs to heal them, to heal the people. And Sakura, all she did was summon Katsuyu, but that's not exactly true because there is a technique for Katsuyu actually to do that, and it's called immense network healing. And this technique, Sakura used to save on thousands of people. But the thing is, you have to unlock the Byakugo seal to use this jutsu. So if you summon Katsuyu and you don't have the Byakugo seal, you can't actually use this jutsu to save the thousands of people. You have to unlock the Byakugo seal to have enough chakra to actually supply Katsuyu with that chakra so you can save those people. So it's not just all on Katsuyu, it's both of them combined. So yeah. Sakura was taught by Tsunade, and Tsunade taught her evasion skills, so she can read opponents' movements as well as their attack patterns, thus knowing exactly when and how to evade their attacks, of course. And then Sakura's punches can break bones, rupture organs, and actually kill. So that's really all of Sakura's abilities that she can do and throughout the story. Those are the abilities that she can do. So after I just got done with reading off her achievements throughout the story and her abilities, you guys must think of her as a different character as when you first started this video. She has changed so much throughout the series. It's just unbelievable. And now I'm going to get into what her character does for the story. So her relationships between people and whatnot. So this is going to go quicker than the first part of the video, but I'm going to talk about a little bit about this. So Narusaku, the relationship between Naruto and Sakura, besides maybe the relationship between Naruto and Jiraiya and Shikamaru and Asuma, they have the strongest bond in the show. In part 2, they go on missions together. They know each other inside out. They don't even need to communicate now to know what to do in fights because they are best friends. They do have a brotherly, sisterly bond, but I felt more than that. Brothers and sisters, even though they don't think they love each other, they really do. It's like any kind of relationship with brothers and sisters. They just like, oh, I hate you. You're so stupid, but in reality, you love them. Usually, especially when you grow older, you tend to love them more and are like best friends with them. But I felt the relationship between Naruto and Sakura was deeper than just a brotherly, sisterly bond. I felt it was deeper because since they aren't siblings, so at one point in Shippuden, Sakura actually was trying to feed Naruto on her own free will. Yes, she wasn't forced to feed her. Not like the part where in part 1, at the very beginning, where Sakura was like, asked Naruto, like, I'm only going to do this one time, and this is because you need your energy or whatever. But she actually was trying to feed Naruto on her own free will, which was like in Shippuden, and this was when Sakura was like a tomboy, or a tsundere. So that was an awkward moment to see, by Sakura. And so, but this shows that Sakura isn't just a cold, mean, angry female character. She's kind and caring, and she cares about her teammates. But of course, at that moment, we got interrupted by Sai, so screw you, Sai. Now, if we want to talk about a weak character, that's a weak character, Sai. In the show, not the manga, but the show, the animators tease us so much with Narusaku. It's really unbelievable. Like, they have multiple ending songs that show symbolism in the relationship. There's moments throughout the filler episodes sometimes that, like, tease us so much of the pairing between the two. But, of course, you guys already know what happens in the end. That doesn't happen. So, Naruto and Sakura, Narusaku
makes a lot more sense in pairings, rather than like Naruhina. It just makes a lot more sense. Let me explain here. Um, Naruhina was never really explored in the show ever. Hinata confessed her love for Naruto, but after that scene, uh, Naruto forgot about it and continued to like Sakura. The only time we actually saw development between Naruto and Hinata was in a 2-hour movie. That's all, folks. That's all we got. And the explanations in the movie were bullshit. The writing was horrible. First off, apparently the reason why Naruto liked Sakura was because he didn't want to lose to Sasuke. That's one of the weakest explanations ever. Ever. It doesn't make sense. So you're telling me in part 2, when Sasuke isn't even in the village, and Naruto likes Sakura, and in the back of Naruto's mind, he liked Sakura because he didn't want to lose to Sasuke. I'm sorry, but that's so weak. That really is weak writing. Um, and all of a sudden, another point, and all of a sudden, when Naruto was actually looking in Hinata's memories in the last, he all of a sudden loves her. When he was looking in Hinata's memories and looking at all the flashbacks in Naruto's past. All of a sudden, after he got out of the Genjutsu, he was like, "Oh my gosh, I love Hinata." So you're telling me that if a girl likes you, you automatically like her back. Basically saying, if an unattracted, ugly, fat girl liked me, I would love her back. That's anime logic for you guys. So, the only reason why people actually liked Hinata in the show is because she acts so shy and innocent, and she's so cute, and she had a big bust. That's pretty much it. Because besides that, she doesn't do shit in the show. Um, the only things we've seen her actually do is fight Neji and lost. Fought Pain trying to free Naruto and lost. Defeated one Jubi clone with a barely completed 64 palms. Because remember, to use that 64 palms, she actually had like to go back. Well, not to go back, but she had like Neji in the back of her mind, and Neji was basically pushing her forward, saying, "You can do it, Hinata. You can do the 64 palms," and that's where she actually finally mastered the technique. But it was barely completed, and she did it against one Jubi clone. Um, and she tripped over a rock and married Naruto. Um, that's what she has done in the show. Um, really, that's all she's done. I mean, she has the original, not original, but like the regular abilities of the Hyuga clans. You know, the gentle fist, the 64 palms, you blah 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 blah. But she does have one. She actually made one of her techniques, and this technique I really really like. It's actually one of my favorite. It actually is my favorite part about Hinata's character. The gentle fist step, twin lion fist. Now this is a really cool technique. It's not. It just kind of boosts up Hinata's taijutsu skills, taijutsu's abilities, and makes it more powerful. Besides that, it just looks cool. It takes a form of a lion. First, when she was first using it, it was blue. But then later, like we see in the last, she improved it and it became a purple color. But besides that, she hasn't done really anything. All she really did fought against Neji and lost, fought against Pain and lost, tripped over a rock in the war, trying to go after Naruto. She made one of her techniques. She made a technique, and she married Naruto. Those are her only achievements in the show, and I don't care that she had less screen time than Sakura. Those are her only moments she had in the show, and she had a lot of screen time in the show compared to some other characters, and she basically just like screwed herself over with all these achievements because really her only big ability achievement is the technique that she made. So yeah, she's not a great powerful character at all. Sakura is a lot more useful. People say Hinata's, oh my god, Hinata's so useful. Oh my god, she does like, you say Naruto. Well, Sakura, like, Hinata has, she's so awesome. Well, Sakura has saved people multiple times, and she's a lot more powerful than Hinata. So, Naruto and Sakura just had a longer time to develop and have a relationship. They had the longest time in the show to develop a relationship and it makes the most sense. In the show, it makes the most sense. Sakura deeply cares for Naruto. You guys think when she lied to Naruto that she was a bitch? She's not. The reason why she lied to him was to free the burden between them and break the promise they made to bring Sasuke back to the Leaf. But Sakura understood that Sasuke was just bringing evil and destruction to the world. She wanted Naruto back to the village because she knew if those two fought again, they would kill themselves. So she would rather have one friend alive than two dead. She wanted to protect Naruto. And of course Naruto said, it's not just about you, Sakura, it's about me too. I want to save Sasuke myself. So at that moment, Sakura became furious, and she decided to kill Sasuke herself to break the pain between Team 7. But love always wins, guys. Love always wins. And Sakura couldn't kill him. And that part in the story was one of the two bad things Sakura had done in part 2. Only 2, but that was one of the 2 bad things that she had done in part 2. The other was still thinking about Sasuke after Naruto saved her in the war. But besides those moments, she had great moments. She only had a couple of bad moments in part 2. One of my favorite lines of Sakura was when she opened Naruto's chest and sang these lines that I'm about to say that came from Sakura's mouth were some of the best lines I've ever heard of her say in the entire show. This was one of her, I would say, best shining moments in the show, and just made her character develop even more. These lines are really powerful. So she said, I won't let you die here. You still have a dream, the dream to become Hokage. I will not allow for that dream to die. You have to become Hokage. That was such a cool moment for her. It really was. So Kishimoto was never going to make Sakura the heroine of Naruto. The reason why was because he admitted that he sucks at writing heroines of the story, in stories. In some cases, he does suck. But what he did with Sakura was good, for the most part. He could have done so much more for her character, though. It's really unbelievable. He really could have done so much, and she had a lot more potential of what she could have been in the story. But for the most part, she did do her part in the story. Kishimoto thought of Sakura as a girl who is slightly annoying, but had good intentions. He thinks of her as a normal girl and a normal human being. Because Sakura isn't a special. She wasn't raised in a special clan like the Uzumaki, Uchiha, Sarutobi, Yamanaka, Nara, Akamichi, Hyuga, Aburame, Inuzuka, Senju, etc. Sakura has flaws in her character and personality, but all humans have that. Every person makes mistakes. No one on earth hasn't made a mistake. Kishi made her a relatable character. She is the closest person in the ninja world that is like us. You won't find another character in the ninja world, except maybe Lee, more similar to you than Sakura. So, for a girl who hasn't and wasn't from a well-known clan, to a girl who is the strongest kunoichi in the Naruto verse, is amazing. It truly is. From a girl who had no special talent whatsoever, she was at the bottom of the chain, to a girl who was the strongest female shinobi in the show. That shows her character development and what her purpose and what she has done in the story. She has come so far, and by far is one of the most developed characters of the show. So fans of Naruto, people who dislike Sakura as a character, please understand, and after watching this video, know that Sakura isn't useless. She's far from useless. She's one of the most useful characters of the show. I'm so tired of people just joining the bandwagon of her being useless. It's so annoying having to go on YouTube finding people who hate Sakura and saying she's the most useless character in the show, and having to comment on the videos saying like 90 lines of me explaining why she isn't useless, and then them just asking back, oh, well, I still think she's useless, while I'm clearly explaining what she has done in the series. They're just denying it. They're denying her abilities, and it's really pathetic. It really is. So, I just hope that people finally understand that she is a great character in the show. She really is. So guys, I think that wraps up my Sakura Haruno analysis. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, please. And if you thought I left anything out that Sakura did positive-wise, please leave a comment down in the comment section below. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And without further ado, all I have to say is, take care.